The ASEAN region is home to some of the world's fastest growing economies, where people are enjoying a new era of prosperity. More than 660 million people are dependent on the region's rich natural heritage for their livelihood, welfare, and well-being. However, pressures mostly brought about by anthropogenic factors are now exacting a high price: the depletion of the region's precious and unique biodiversity that supports its economic advancement. The post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework presents the opportunity and means to address the unprecedented biodiversity loss in the region and the world. The extensive conservation efforts of the ASEAN member states, AMS, as reflected in their 6th national reports to the Convention on Biological Diversity, CBD, as well as regional initiatives to contribute to the sustainable use of the region's biological resources, are presented by the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity, ACB, in the 3rd edition of the ASEAN Biodiversity Outlook, ABO3. The ABO3 recommends narrative shifts to draw more attention to the collective, responsible, and pragmatic actions for biodiversity using the most recent available information on the progress, achievements, and areas for improvement of biodiversity in the region. Guided by the Strategic Plan for Biodiversity 2011 to 2020, including the Aichi Biodiversity Targets, Aichi Targets, the region's progress, challenges, and ways forward are articulated through these goals. At least 50% of the AMS have indicated on-track progress in achieving 13 Aichi targets: increasing awareness of biodiversity, mainstreaming of biodiversity, addressing incentives, sustainable production and consumption, habitat loss halved or reduced, sustainable agriculture, aquaculture, and forestry, reducing invasive species, preventing species extinction, enhancing resilience, implementing the Nagoya Protocol, revising of national biodiversity strategies and action plans, NBSAPs, and improving knowledge, the science base and technologies relating to biodiversity, and mobilizing resources. At least one AMS has exceeded the target when it comes to increasing awareness on biodiversity, and another AMS in increasing the coverage of protected areas. The region faces challenges particularly in restoring ecosystems and reducing pollution. A midterm review of progress towards Aichi targets shows that the ASEAN region's tropical forests are continuously threatened and remain a deforestation hotspot. The growing demand for timber products and the conversion of land for agricultural use and human settlements reduce forest cover at a rate of 80,000 square kilometers annually. The ecological crisis leads to species extinction, diminishing natural resources, and deteriorating ecosystems. The urgent need to address this situation necessitates approaches with ambitious goals and transformative measures to restore and recover the natural habitats. As a way forward, courses of action may include the expansion of protected areas, including other effective area-based conservation measures, OECMs, under the post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework. The establishment of ecological networks through transboundary initiatives, including the ASEAN Heritage Parks Program, has been mobilized and could be a potent solution to habitat loss and fragmentation. It could contribute to the restoration of interconnected ecosystems within a larger landscape and seascape framework. A proactive approach in the development of biodiversity management plans calls for the consideration of nature-based solutions in climate action, such as the conservation and rehabilitation of habitats susceptible to extreme weather conditions. This requires continuing support for research and development efforts regarding the effects of climate change on species and ecosystems to identify appropriate management practices. A renewed focus on improving regional capacity and optimizing the use of knowledge platforms and resources in national reporting, such as the National Clearinghouse Mechanisms, ASEAN Clearinghouse Mechanism, and the ASEAN Biodiversity Dashboard has become imperative. The AMS are already taking concrete approaches and pragmatic measures to mainstream biodiversity in national programs. To sustain these initiatives, the ABO3 recommends comprehensive and systematic efforts to mobilize and substantially increase financial resources from all sources for more effective implementation of the NDSAPs. Biodiversity loss is a cross-sectoral global issue that requires collective action within and beyond the ASEAN region. It is only through a unified, holistic, and worldwide engagement that a significant headway towards transformative change can be realized. According to the World Health Organization, unabated biodiversity loss and failure of ecosystem services to meet social needs can have significant impacts on humanity, as the loss of ecosystem services will have wide-ranging repercussions that will affect health, livelihoods, migration, income, and food security. The individual and collective efforts of the AMS under the rubric of the Aichi biodiversity targets, as well as synergies with other multilateral environmental agreements, demonstrate both accomplishments and challenges as the region and the rest of the world usher in the post-2020 global biodiversity framework that will serve as a blueprint for fulfilling the three objectives of the CBD towards living in harmony with nature by 2050. The foregoing recommendations provide strategies not only for breaching critical thresholds that lead to irreversible adverse impacts on the ASEAN's biodiversity, but more significantly, for restoring and enhancing vital ecosystems. These are both timely and crucial, particularly in light of compounding factors, including but not limited to climate change, new and emerging diseases, and socio-political insecurity. The current outlook identifies opportunities for the AMS to scale up initiatives, mobilize resources, strengthen individual and collective commitments, adopt science-based policymaking and implementation, and promote a rights-based, whole-of-community approach to halt biodiversity loss and achieve multiple benefits where no one is left behind.